Shalom Fam, Solo Soul here, also known as Coach Arthur. If you're new to the channel, go to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. So fam, this evening, I want to come to you and just talk to you about the truth about investing in Tanzania. So many people don't know how easy it is to invest in Tanzania, and they don't even know some of the opportunities that you could, take advantage of as soon as you get into the country, as soon as you get established and you get settled. So I'm not gonna waste too much of your time like I always try not to. And I'm trying my best not to, give information about things that I'm not gonna elaborate on. So everything that I'm gonna talk about this evening, I'm gonna elaborate to a certain extent, to the best of my ability. And I'm always gonna advise you to research and double, triple check any information that I give you. So if you are new to the channel, most of the conversations I have on this channel is about doing business in Africa, traveling to Africa. I do talk about, family, my life, and some of the things that we kind of deal with. But more so in the last couple months, I'm more so focused on doing business in Tanzania because that is very big for us. We're trying to set a foundation for our family in a new country. And, I want to give facts. I want to give my experience. I want to tell you genuinely what I know and just kind of give you the truth without putting on a face like some of these creators put on. So again, if you're new to the channel, drop a comment. If you're a returning subscriber, drop a comment. Let me know that you're here, and I hope that my sound is working good. So if you can give me a 1, anybody who can actually hear my voice. So before I get started, I know it's only a few of us in here, but if you on here and if you can hear my voice, please give me a 1, if you don't mind. So what we're going to talk about is the truth about investing in Tanzania and what they don't tell you. So this is what the big influencers and the big channels don't really tell you, especially for the ones that are focused on, getting you to invest with them, getting you to work with them, or to spend money with them. So fam, thank you again, Angel. I appreciate that. I'm gonna just go ahead and proceed. All right. So the first investment, and I'm gonna give credit to Jamaican African Travels, Mr. Clyde. He is the person who gave me all this information because he told me about it about a year ago. I didn't really look into it, but studying and understanding what we'll have to do to get some solid investments in that country of Tanzania, we must go directly to their stock exchange. So this is the DSE. This is the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange, and you can, once you get established and get settled in the country, you can invest in the stock exchange in Tanzania, and it doesn't even cost you more than $2 or $3, and you can invest as much as you want. So you can invest in banks, you can invest in thriving businesses that are settled and established into Tanzania. So what I have listed is what Mr. Clyde pointed out to me, and I visited their website. So I pulled all this information directly from the website and broker websites as well. So what you'll receive once you make an investment with the DSC, you'll receive your broker's K oh my gosh, KYC, which is know your client. And that's the information, all your demographics, everything about you that your broker will draw that document up for you. And your accounting forms, you'll get those documents from DSE once you make your initial deposit, and you'll also get a deposit receipt. You'll get company reports from DSE, and your broker will be the main person administering your certificate. So when you make that initial investment with the stock exchange in Tanzania, in Dar es Salaam, you will get all of your documents. And so what I'm learning, you will actually get dividends every month from your investment, if your stock is doing good. So for the people who want to invest in the country and you don't want to go through diaspora, you don't want to go through different companies right away, you can invest right into the country and you can go directly and get all of your legal documents. You don't have to worry about being, schemed or scammed out of any money. You'll have all of your solid documents. So once you find a good broker and you kind of know what type of investment you want to make and how much investment, your broker will walk you through step by step, and they'll get you all the documentation you need. So shout out again to Jamaican African Travels, Mr. Clyde. I hope I did that information justice. And I pray that someone on here, you can share this information with someone who wants to invest in Tanzania, and you don't want to pay for these crazy classes, or you don't want to do these seminars that people throw and they want to charge you 400 or 500 USD just to give you information that you can get for free. So I hope that helps you. Hopefully that edifies somebody who wants to invest in the country. So moving on. So again, this slide is a little messed up because of the download, but y'all get the gist. Jamaican African Travels are expert consultants. If you want to do consultations to move to the country, you want to organize your thoughts, you want professional people, you want people who are going to tell you the truth and not give you fluff, or they're not going to give you sugar-coated information. They're going to give you everything you need, and everything that you need to invest or be successful in the country. So I strongly recommend these people, and you're about to hear why here shortly. Okay. So listen, stick to your vision from Yah. When you move to Tanzania or you move to any African country, you have to stick to the vision that you initially had, what drew you there to that country, what pulled you in. Don't be distorted by all the content that you see online, and you see people in their stories of why they left Tanzania or why this African country is not for them. And don't take all that to heart. Don't feel like you have to put yourself in their shoes in every situation, because we went through a lot of things that other people didn't go through, and we had a lot of successes in the first 2 or 3 months that people didn't even see for a year. So you never know what the Most High can do for you. So do not focus on channeling your energy into what other people are doing. Focus on what you're doing and what the Most High gave you, what vision the Most High gave you for you and your family. So I'm going to talk about what these people do to market to you, like the things that they don't really tell you. So they market Tanzania as a land opportunity for the African diaspora. They do that. They tell you exactly about the beautiful landscapes. They tell you the success stories to draw you in. All right. And that's what a lot of these YouTubers have done from the beginning of their story. They started by drawing you in. They started by marketing the land opportunities. A lot of them are moving away from that, but we're going to talk about the truth about how y'all drew us in, and now y'all are retreating. Y'all talking about all these other online investments. Y'all talking about all these other business things. But initially, you got all of us interested because in America, African Americans and Black diaspora from all over the world, we can't really own land like that, and we can't really get affordable opportunities, or we don't feel like we belong in certain places. And now we try to go home, and we got our own people deceiving us. So, but fam, this third point, it doesn't match the truth, or it's the truth is hidden or distorted. They give you like half truths. They tell you that the landscape in Tanzania is beautiful, but should you drop your entire life and everything that you're doing just to go buy land and hopefully you can live off grid? Or some of y'all get to Tanzania and you don't want to live off grid. Like, that's not the life you really want. Some of y'all don't really even know what you want. You let these people determine, or they tell you what you want. Like, so in my experience, I've met a lot of people who heard about, this eco village or this area, in Tanzania that they want to stay in, but they really don't understand what it takes to live off grid or to live on these bumpy roads or to even get to your land once you buy it. So I know that is very discouraging for a lot of people when they get into the country. And that makes me sad for y'all, because it's like, you move into another country, you should be more open-minded, and you should think about future. The road may not be good today, but if you come together with your group or your community, you should be able to fix that road and get where you need to go. But either way, fam, so I'm not gonna go down that. You see, I'm already about to go down another rabbit hole. So let me stick to your vision that the Most High gave you when you get into the country. Okay, don't change your focus on what's marketed to you. All right, that's what I want to get out on that one. I'm sorry. All right, so the narrative being sold to us is courses and master classes. They're promising financial freedom in Tanzania, or online investment seminars. These are some of the things that I see floating around right now. I'm looking at these people like, y'all have no proof of the investments that you're telling people to invest in. So like I said at the beginning of the presentation, DSE, Dar es Salaam exchange or stock exchange, you can go invest into banks that have physical banks in the country, or different businesses that have physical businesses who are established and been established for years, that you can invest in, and you can gain, capital and dividends from that. You can get profit from that, right away, depending on how much of your investment. So if you bank with a certain bank in Tanzania, go invest in that same bank. If you buy a product, and you're buying a product in Tanzania, invest in that product, because you like to get it from shoppers. You like to get it from Jumbo, supermarket. You like to shop, and you like to buy that product. So invest in that company. So, and that's Mr. Cloud again, Jamaican African Travels. Like, he just enlightened me on that. I'm like, it's so many things that we enjoyed and loved in Tanzania, like products. Now my mind is like blown. I'm like, I could invest. I see these companies all the time. Like, I see the buildings. Like, you can easily invest in these companies. You don't have to go out here and look for a group. You can go to a company. They would love to take your investment and and take your money and use it to grow their company. Okay. So these people are marketing investment tours, networking events, and they're selling Africa as Africa is rising. It's a rising dream. All right. I'm going to leave it at a dream, because they're selling you a dream. They're telling you that you can do certain things in the country that you really can't do, right away. So I'm going to get into that a little bit more as we progress. So the success stories are pushed through social media and YouTube. They're telling you that they helped this family come over. But when the family get there, they leave them stranded. They don't help them do anything. These are what these YouTubers do. That's in their nature. They have a very foul spirit, that they don't care about people. Some of them should be very embarrassed to even show their faces online, but they have so much pride, and they're so wicked. They don't want to repent. They do not want to do right by the diaspora. But I won't get into that again. See, let me refocus. So the narrative being sold to us, y'all, is a dream. They really don't have anything, y'all. They like this dry, desolate desert that you see over there, with dried up, no fruits, no water flowing, nothing built, no structures. They you got to get there to know, because a lot of you who've been to Tanzania, after discussing and talking to these people, that what's there. All right, it's companies that you can invest in, but it's not mainly the diaspora companies. I'm gonna tell you that right now. It's African countries. Companies. It's Tanzanian companies that you need to invest in. So, moving on. All right, so where the money really goes. So, family, the money that you invest with these people, some of these YouTubers, it goes to their rent and bills. It goes to their food and their outings, to make a video. It goes into them trying to make more content, to sell more content to you. So many online content creators, they make money from selling hope, not actual investments. So like I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, if you missed it, go back. You have to look at investments in that country. All right. So don't let them have you invest with them when they're really not profiting from the country. They're really profiting from you, because they're charging you 300 USD to 2,000 USD for courses and membership programs and business tours. And they're talking about their wealth and growing your wealth. But all of their wealth is coming from YouTubing to you and getting you to pay them. So that's how their wealth is being created. Now, I'm going to give my boy O'Shea a shout out, because he really hit that on the head. Your wealth, their wealth is coming from you. Yes, I am very familiar with them, and I'm kind of touching. They're included in this group that I'm talking about. They're included, Angel. And I'm sorry, I was a dedicated follower too, until I got to the country and I found out the truth. So their wealth often comes from you, not Tanzania or other countries in Africa. So, Angel, just hold on. We're gonna get right into it. So the thing is, you have to understand that everybody has to survive. They have to make money somehow. And I'm not knocking anyone's hustle. I don't knock people's hustles. So that's one thing I didn't do. I was in the country for the first 4 months, and I could have said a lot about these people. But again, I always give people that, grace and benefit of the doubt, the same grace that I expect people to give to me when I make a mistake. I expect people to give me some grace. But when you keep doing the same thing over and over and you're not turning from how you're doing people wrong, and Angel, if you don't know, go to King Gunda, O'Shea Duke Jackson, go to King Gunda, go to Kiki Love Nigeria, and go to their channel and look at some of the things that they've already said about these people. I don't even have to say it. We've been saying it for years. Jamaican African Travel have been saying it, warning people, warning people. And yeah, I'm gonna move on to the next point. All right. So the hard truth about investing in Tanzania. So family, I need y'all to hang on with me because I'm about to end. Like, I don't have much more after this. I'm gonna just give it to you straight up. I'm giving it to you. No chaser, how they used to say, no chaser. I ain't finna mix no sweet remedies with it today. All right, I'm gonna just give it to you straight up. So the hard truth about investing in Tanzania: land ownership restrictions are very difficult. You have to have a great lawyer. All right, you have to have a good lawyer to help you get past some of these barriers. You have to get you a good surveyor if you purchase land. All right, you have to also look out for corruption because some people will sell you land and it's not really their land. It's not really people who own the land who sell it to you. They sell. Hey, Shalom, Justin, what's up, man? I was just talking about you the other day. We got to link up. It's not actually people who own the land who will sell you the land. They'll sell you their cousin's land. All right. So that's the corruption I'm talking about. I won't go into any other corruption. Okay. So long timelines for profit. Sometimes you may invest thousands of dollars and you think that when you live in Tanzania for a whole year, you think you should be seeing the return on your investment. No. If you're starting from the bottom, sometimes it takes 5 to 10 years or more. I met a guy when me and my wife went out to we were in we was at the Ledger, and if y'all know Bahari Beach in Tanzania, we were at the Ledger, and he came in, he heard us speaking English, and he came up and he said, "Hey, I've been here for 11 years. I was in the military, and he's in mining, so he's been there for 11 years, and he's still looking for investors. He's still looking for a return on his investment. He bought all this equipment. The equipment needs repairs. He got to replace the equipment." Family, depending on the type of business that you go into, sometimes it's not profitable right away. All right. So you can look at short-term investments or long-term investments. I recommend you, again, looking at the Tanzanian Stock Exchange because it is definitely doing a little good and it's affordable. So the legal risk and hidden costs. So sometimes it's a risk because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if you're really covered. Sometimes documents get lost and sometimes they get forged. It's important that you know the difference and you get help from the government. Yeah, man, we'll talk. It was nothing. I was just talking about our classmates and who I haven't seen. But yeah, I'm gonna talk to you later, Justin. All right, so legal risk, I already talked about that. And the truth is they're selling us a dream, fam. They sold all of us a dream. But one thing about it, fam, the Most High is going to always make a way for you to really do and get the desires of your heart if you repent and then turn it back to the Most High. So despite the scammers, despite all the things that they try to do to discourage you or to get you to run up out of the country so they can keep your investment, don't give up. Don't leave the country right away. If you want to leave to go make money, make sure you check off everything. Like, you get your lawyer, you get your documents in order, you get a place to store your belongings, you just pay rent. Just pay the rent. We was paying what, $300 a month when we first left, and then now we're paying $150 a month. It just depends on where you at and what you're trying to rent. So sometimes you got to downsize while you're away. Just keep your belongings safe in a safe space that has cameras and security. So they selling you a dream, fam. Unfortunately, I had to tell you that. It's the truth. All right. So this is what y'all want to know. Y'all want to know where the real wealth is for foreigners, for us. Where can we really get a return on our investment? All right. So I should have put the number one, get a return on your investment, is investing in the Dar es Salaam Stock Exchange. So DSE, you can go up on Google. You can Google it. You can look at the current and update it. When you get into the country, you go to the bank, you talk to your bank about, what's a good investment to make. You find you a broker You make your investment however much you want to make, and you watch it. Okay, so that's just something, that's advised, and you don't have to do it if you don't want to. All right, so the next two things, how we can, that these are the things that I kind of been looking at anyways. Y'all kind of already know. Ecotourism, hospitality, that's our thing. Hospitality is really big. We know that when you're in an African country, we know that you have attractions and national parks, and you have tours, and you have things that you can offer, because people don't travel across the world to another country to just sit around and look at trees. Maybe some people, but they want to be taken care of. All right, so that's one way you can invest and partner. So joint ventures with Tanzanians. So Tanzanians, yes, they do know their country, and they do know, what they do know what not to do and what will work in certain areas, because they watch everything. They watch where the money going. They know. They really do. They know. They do know who making money. They know who's not making money. Now, they may not know how much the person is making, but they do know who's making money, because you can tell who's making money by who's building and who's traveling. They know it's certain things. It's subtle things that will, give it away. So, fam, just know that it's many other ways that foreigners can, make money, like agriculture. I ain't talk about that because we're in the beginning phases of that. So I just want to talk about some of the things that I'm kind of passionate about. So that's why I talked about ecotourism and hospitality. And we also have a trip coming up December 2025. If anyone is interested in traveling with us, it'll be about, well, as of right now, it's about 4 of us that's traveling to Tanzania. If you would like to join that trip, just go ahead and shoot us an email at origindenal@gmail.com. You can go find that in our bio. All right, so fam, this is my final warning for you. Like I said, I won't take up too much of your time because I'm giving you straight up information that I've been sitting on all day, and I knew that I needed to talk about it because these people are selling us crap, man. They got us investing, paying for all these investment seminars and online seminars. Why we got to pay for information that we can find online for free? I get you got to make a living, but you also don't have anything that you can show for, other than videos. So I want somebody to show me what they really have done in the country. Yeah, for these YouTubers that be on here talking about investing in all these big investments and ain't sitting on nothing big. Yeah, we could pull y'all cards like left and right, but we just choose to just give y'all, give y'all grace. But the grace is up. But anyways, y'all, a warning. So do your due diligence, like I always say. Don't just trust what influencers say. So I don't really see myself as an influencer. I see myself as a, freelance speaker. I just freely speak, sometimes, when I feel like it. So ask for real proof. You want to see numbers. You want to see even sometimes bank statements. Because I even had a contractor that we were dealing with. He had to show me bank statements. So he showed me bank statements for like 3 months because I didn't really trust what he said. And he was just talking. And, I'm like, you doing all that talking? Let me see the bank statements. So he showed me all of the bank statements. I was really able to see where the transactions was going. I see where I sent money. And it was a good thing, we still okay to this day, but sometimes you have to ask for that information. So not just testimonials, you have to see, proof. All right. So understand the legal and financial landscape in depth. So if you don't understand Tanzania, yes, shout out to Sister Wanda, Diaspora Connect. She be dropping some straight up jewels as well, because she said something the other day that kind of gave me this thought right here. You have to understand that cash is king in Tanzania. So you can't purchase things in USD anymore. You have to go strictly T shillings. And I also talked to one of my elders there. I don't know if she won't be said name, but one of my elders, and she was telling me how things are getting more expensive now. Like the dollar is not taking you as far as it used to, a couple of years ago. So some of these people who've been there for years, they really see the difference in how far the dollar can take you. So fam, it's not the time to run out on your investment. I'm gonna tell you that. So if y'all feeling discouraged and you feel like your time or your season is up in the country, that's okay to leave and make money and get back to the country. But don't give up on your investment simply because you feel knocked down, you feel discouraged. Because the enemy is there to discourage you, to knock you down. The enemy is there to deter you, to knock you off the path. So you got to just pick yourself back up and get back on the path. Some people thought they discouraged us until we traveled 2 more times to Tanzania right after we left. Like, it's not like you didn't do anything. All right. What you did is let us know that in reality you need income. All right. So you got to have income and you got to have something coming in monthly. So invest time in building real relationships and long-term plans. So I always say this: build real relationships, do your best. You may not build the real ones right away, but you got to try. You can't just depend on the diaspora because the diaspora is something else. So I just always think back to studying Exodus and understanding how all of those Hebrews was praying against Moses. They were setting up their evil altars and doing witchcraft and divination and all kinds of stuff against Moses and Aaron. They were praying against Moses. The same person who helped deliver them out of Egypt, they were sitting there praying on their downfall. So when people don't like the way you move with them and they feeling some type of way, they pray against you, especially if they don't have, that ruach, that true heart, that true, the heart for people, that ruach from the Most High. So some people just not going to take it as far to scam you as bad as certain people will. So the last point I want to make is don't pay for dreams, fam. Pay for truth. Stop paying these people for dreams. They have nothing else to offer you but dreams. No more dreams. We done with dreams. We deal with too much in America. We deal with too many things here for us to go to an African country. Not only we have the language barrier, then we got our own people speaking in tongues and using a snake tongue against us and praying against us. You praying against your own. I'm not going to go into that. So, fam, the last slide I want to talk about again, shout out to Jamaican African Travels. They are expert consultants. Shout out to Mr. Cloud and Miss Maria. The best method of contact, because they are very busy, this is a busy season for them right now, is their email. You can find that in my bio as well. You can try to reach out to them via WhatsApp, but again, they're very busy in this season. So all you have to do is shoot them an email. They can set up a consultation and set up a time with you. And if you're ready to organize your thoughts with a professional, or with two professionals, you can set that up with them. Okay. So again, fam, my name is Solo Soul, also known as Coach Arthur, and I'm out. So y'all can also email me if you have additional questions. I know this is a quick live. I pray that y'all can send it to other people in the diaspora who really don't know, because people are charging whole seminar. They charging whole $300-400 to give out this information, and they say they have other information, but listen, you can go right on Google. I have another presentation that I really want to do, because I want to tell you about some NGOs that you can easily invest in, which is low risk. So it's easy to go research these companies. You can go on their website, you can go on their IG, you can even call the information line. You can go and find the information about these companies. Don't get out here and be throwing your money away for dreams. Okay. So fam, that's all I got for you this evening. And I hope to talk to y'all soon. Angel, I hope to talk to you soon. And y'all bless, fam. All right, Jay, Justin, I'm going to hit you up, man.